gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and denominations, welcome back to the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and raw. Now, last week is a continuation of what we're putting forward now, because last week we had part one with the Crow. Today is going to be part two, and today is going to be a little bit different. We had a lot of fun when it came to last week. So this week is going to be a little bit different. Once again, follow us on all our social medias, WAWSA on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and Pumakapa TV on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, of course, and of course, Loudmouth, the Loudmouth Appreciation Society. Now, this one is going to deal with a few mature themes in terms of how we're going to be putting questions and how questions are going to be answered. So please be aware that there are a bit more mature themes. Especially in part two, we are going to be dealing with a lot of issues that people had in wrestling and the Crows had as well. But I feel it's necessary to speak about these things, because not only is it a part of the Crow's character and how he's developed and the type of wrestler he has become, but it's important that we get to know the Crow. We're not going to have this opportunity again to do this. He's a very private person in terms of kayfabe and in terms of himself. So we are going to maximize this. And once again, there are going to be mature themes. So guys, after the break, we're going to be speaking to Crow. We're going to be dealing with part two. And once again, I'm going to mention the mature themes. Please stay tuned. Welcome back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. Myself, the Loudmouth, is with the Crow, the last hardcore wrestler, the last hardcore legend in South African wrestling. And we didn't mention it in the first part, but we're going to mention it now, the WAWSA hardcore champion. Now, Crow, last week we spoke, and in part one we spoke about some of the matches that you've had. But I'm going to speak about one.
Can I at least greet the people?
Oh, you can
I also greet the people?
You can
This was pretty rude, you know. You went like that last week. Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. Okay, carry on.
Thank you.
I must say.
Thank you very much for that. And I apologize for not allowing you to greet the audience. That's egregious of me. When
no, you did. It's not that you didn't allow me. You never gave me a chance.
Well,
that's what makes the difference.
That does happen sometime. When Wrestle Monster comes around, you can poke me in the eye for that one. I apologize.
I've got some unfinished business there. So if I get a chance to get back on Wrestle Monster, yeah.
Yeah,
let me just keep quiet for now.
I'll be changing in the parking lot.
Now.
Yeah, I'll be changing in the parking lot in my car. Thank you very much. We spoke about
good
last week. We spoke about some of the matches that you've had, and we touched on a bit of the banter with the wrestling and things like that, but we mentioned one wrestler's name, the Cowboy, that you had a really special relationship with him, and unfortunately, Paul is not with us anymore. Rest in peace. He did battle cancer, and unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. How did it affect you in terms of your mental state when it came to wrestling, losing somebody that you were that close with?
Sorry. Man. Sorry.
No. It's fun. It's fun.
To me, basically, that was the end of an era.
Yeah.
The end of something that will not happen again. Respect to all the other guys out there. They're working their asses off and doing what they love, doing what they want to show the people, what they want to give the people. But that was something different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was another level of connection. I think if I remember right, I told you last week about that story of Danny Glover and Mel Gibson sitting there looking at each other, thinking like we're getting too old for the
Yeah, yeah,
because we both knew what we actually give and how far we will take it.
yeah.
And to us, there were no limits. It
Mm-hmm.
was just what else can we do? What more can we give? What, even though it was already insane, it was already um, like many people were worried. They limited us to what we could do on certain shows. But that was a connection that will never be repeated. I don't know how that can be repeated because we I don't know how to say this. We both want another world. That world of the dark side,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where the dark one comes from. There was somebody else that could walk and live in that world, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just go there and come back. Somebody that could go there and stay there and do his thing there and was comfortable to be there. If I know this sounds a bit mysterious or lots of people might not understand what I actually said now, but that was that was off the hook. That was insanity personified, if you ask me.
right, right.
And and for me to be a part of that, which was actually the crow, was somebody that could be a part of that, which was not the crow.
Yeah,
Totally, he was also basically like the opposite. People just loved him.
yeah,
He could
yeah.
just do an entrance, and people seriously loved the hell of this guy. But that's gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was like a milestone in my life where, I took a knock, huh?
Yeah, yeah. For a while there, it was touch and go, and a lot of people, including myself, were worried about you because it had affected you not only in a professional level but in a personal level as well. And there was a time where we were really worried about you because you started to get really reckless inside the ring, and it affected not only what you did inside the ring, but it affected some of the relationships you had with some of the wrestlers as well.
That's true. And I couldn't remember from my point of view, I couldn't see that
Yeah,
because I wasn't living in that side of the mirror,
right.
if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
get you.
was living in a world that for me basically disappeared.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'm still part of that world, but that world is gone, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
still part of it, but it's gone. It's like I'm still there, but it's not there.
Hmm.
And I was hanging on to that which I knew was gone.
Right.
And yeah, it affected my focus. Yeah, it affected my reality was basically affected by that personal life. My even in the ring, yeah, like you said, the note, the don't care, the whatever happens, happens.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, yeah.
I get that. I get that. What was the tipping point for you? Now I know that grief, there's no timeline on grief. How you grieve for somebody, especially with Cowboy, where he was such a nice guy outside the ring, and you guys traveled everywhere, and we did shows together, and I commentated on many of your matches, and was on events where you guys wrestled and things like that. Where was that point where you had to say to yourself, okay, I've there's something that's got to change here because I look back on this and I'm really not liking where I am right now. When was that point where you say, okay, I need to handle this or I'm not going to make it to the next show?
That's a deep question. That if you think back, I think it was Wrestle Monster 4 or 5. Which one was it? You might remember exactly the number of Wrestle Monster it was.
I think it was five. I think it was five.
I think you know exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah,
That
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
um, uh, yeah, you could say in a sense that a certain part of me I started losing.
Hmm.
Um, and I didn't really care a lot anymore about whatever, even in my personal life. There was other issues as well. Um, but to me, the fact that I knew something was gone that was never going to come back, in my head, it ended a certain era,
Yeah,
which was supposed to carry on and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But how could I? What plan did I have to make that happen
yeah, yeah.
when the plan was gone?
I get you. I get you.
Which means whatever I've worked for that, what was it, 15 years or whatever, went to one massive peak and just disintegrated.
Right, right.
So I started being with the wrong people, doing the wrong things. Um, Even on that specific racial monster, um, oh, there was no focus on my side.
Right.
I knew what I had to do, but it's like I didn't have the will. I didn't have the drive,
Yeah,
the want to do it. It was to me, I just felt like this is not gonna do anything different. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna make anything different. It's not gonna yeah. So I ended up destroying the whole match that was supposed to happen.
mm, hmm.
I mean, I got drunk there, flipping passed out, whatever. That was like I was I didn't even know where I was.
Yeah, yeah,
And that was the biggest mistake that I ever made in my life. Because that was one of the biggest opportunities that I had, not from the point of view that I looked at it, because from my point of view, there was nothing left.
yeah, yeah,
What was the use? What could, that thing that built up, what could be better? What could be bigger? What could be, I saw it from that different point of view. Instead of this is a new platform, a new thing with new opportunities, with new, yeah, it's not the same. It's going to be different. Obviously, it's going to be different.
yeah,
But I just stopped giving a damn about whatever. All at one point on one weekend, where I basically nearly destroyed myself and the crowd.
yeah, yeah. I get you. I get you.
And after that, seeing the disappointment in other people of what they expected. My younger brother was there. He always asked me, "What the hell did you do?" Because they came there to watch me racing and I wasn't on the show.
Yeah,
Now, for me to answer him that question, when him and his 2 kids were there coming to cheer their uncle, I had no answer for them. Who was that other fan? That the guy that died. He was like a hardcore wrestling fan.
oh, Shoal Slater.
Charles Slater was waiting outside the event. Everybody's left already. He was still waiting there just
Yeah,
to
I
get a
remember that.
photo with me.
I remember that.
The moment that I walked into him, and he was just like he waited there. Everybody's gone just to have a photo with me. Something struck me hard in the center of my mind.
Hmm.
all that realization of everything around me, and I was like in a cul-de-sac at the end. If I carry on, there is no carry on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the wall.
Yeah. I get you.
That was like the tipping point of it. But it was too late at that moment. And then I nearly thought, okay, let me whatever,
Yeah.
racing, whatever, anything else. But from then on, speaking to certain people, realizing certain things, changing things, getting rid of certain friends, getting rid of certain, changing my whole attitude towards life, basically. That's where it started, to my own life, to
Right.
my own, the people who were around me, the ones who were affected the most about it. That's where I had to focus on. And from there, it just became easier and easier, and everything started coming. Yeah, okay, I missed whatever could have been, and I had to get over it. You have
I
to get
get you.
over it. You can't just like stay stuck in it and just go down that rabbit hole, because that rabbit hole's end is this.
I get you. I get you. After the break, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We're going to be discussing more with the Crow, and we're gonna get a little bit lighthearted here. So please stick around after the break, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We with the Crow here, and we've touched on some really tough points and really hard points and things like that. And once again, the content is really mature. We are dealing with mature um, topics and things like that. So, please be advised that this is happening. Now, Crow, you've gone on from there. You've grown as a person. You've learned to deal with that emotional distress. Yes, that part of your wrestling career is over with, and it's unfortunate that it has gone that way. But where you are sitting now, 18, 19 years into your wrestling career, shall we say, what is the one thing that you are most proud of that a lot of people may not know, or they've seen some of your matches and things like that? What is the thing that you're most proud of when you say, I'm the Crow and I'm a professional wrestler?
I think that boils down to the rallies, the rallies where we wrestle. Um, okay, I need to say this without swearing the way that those guys did. So I'm not gonna quote unquote
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
they
yeah.
told me.
I get you.
But the thing that made me the proudest was, look, you have to understand um, who I was wrestling for. This might sound weird, but I never wrestled for the fans.
Yeah.
I never. It's gonna sound bad. I never cared about the fans
Hmm.
because they were fans.
Right.
I focused on the non-believers,
Okay.
the
Explain.
non-fans, if I can call it that,
Explain.
right? So all those guys that say, no, this is all fake, this is all made up, this is all what, this is not real, this is not what, those guys, not the guys who appreciated wrestling and whatever the guys were doing, the guys who had all the negative things to say about wrestling.
Right.
I wrestled for them. They were the guys that I wanted to stand next to the ring when I'm wrestling, because they're going to see something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to take some knock. I've had quite about 9 concussions. I've had broken collar, broken ribs, torn ligaments. I've cuts and holes in me that I cannot even count it. It's unimaginable, actually. If I look back at it, I I think like, what the hell was I doing? It's like going off road in a area next to an off road area.
Yeah, I get you. I
If you
get you.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, but the fact that those guys could stand back and say, "You guys are effed up," that hearing it multiple times, the same words, word for word, walking past those guys, and the only thing they can say is, "You guys are effed up." And also hearing people say, "I thought it was fake,"
Yeah.
or taking the things that we're using, like, "But this is real." That was my presence.
Right. Right. Now,
So the best thing that anybody could ever done was like, "You guys are effed up."
now, in your career, you've been wrestling for what, 18, 19 years now?
19 now.
19 years now. Now
Who's
I've been
counting?
wrestling. Sorry?
Who's counting?
No, no, no. I'm not counting. I was just saying.
18, 19 years.
Yeah, yeah, 18, 19 years. We've actually wrestled together in a tag team and things like that, but we've actually never had a match against each other. And we've discussed it for multiple years and multiple times. It's just never come together.
You realized.
Yeah, it's never
Yeah.
materialized.
It's
Besides
it's
now,
been in the making
oh,
for like more than a decade.
man, we we had the one opportunity at
I hate
APW.
you, but I like to hate you.
Oh, I love to hate you, and I hate to love you.
You're awesome to hate. You're one of the best guys to hate.
The, it almost happened at APWA, and then it turned into a tag match. It almost happened at Tembisa Mall, and then it turned into a tag match. Besides
Yeah,
me,
I remember that one clearly.
yeah, besides me, who's the one guy in South African wrestling that you've wanted to wrestle and it's just never materialized, and it gnaws at you that you weren't able to wrestle that guy?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Okay, maybe Skull,
Okay, well, okay, fair enough, fair enough.
which is like not there. Um, Nobody.
Okay, okay. So you've pretty much wrestled everybody that you've wanted to wrestle and wanted to work with and things like that.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Many times.
Now,
And many times that I nearly wrestled you.
too many, too many,
Nearly.
too many, and it's just never
There's a
materialized.
few times that I nearly took you to the dark side. I
Oh,
don't know if you were lucky or saved by the bell
you know you
or
wouldn't
somebody just interrupted what was supposed to happen.
you wouldn't believe how many times it was so close to happening.
Oh, many times. I
So
mean, I
close to
can't.
happening.
If I have to think of what the number of times, I don't know. I stopped counting by 20.
It's at least twice a month. At least twice a month.
Yeah, like I said, I stopped counting at 20 because it wasn't no use counting anymore.
So we're reaching 19 years in the business.
I know when we're going to wrestle, it's not just going to be a normal wrestling match. It's not going to be wrestling moves, wrestling moves, wrestling moves.
No, no,
I know
I have a feeling
because
it's
I'll
not going
bring
to
the
be.
bad guy out in you. And that guy that's going to like, I'm going to kick somebody in the nether regions or something. I know. And I know it's going to happen. And I know I'm going to get knocked because I'm going to bring it out in you. So I know it's going to be hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that for a fact. So yes, as much as I'm actually excited about this, I know it's not going to be so exciting when it happens.
I know, I know.
Yeah, we might laugh at it now,
It's
but
gonna.
I know, I think you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. I know
I think
what
you
you
know
mean.
where I'm going with this.
No, I know where you're going with this.
Many people
19.
don't know, but maybe they might see.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hope it happens soon. Let's hope it happens soon. Because let's face it, Crow, after 19 years in the business and 16 years in the business, what goals do you have to look forward to going forward? Now, obviously, you're the hardcore champion, the WAWSA hardcore champion. but you've never wrestled Mr. Wrestling for the heavyweight championship. Um, you've been NWF champion and now the hardcore champion and things like that. You've never been to that grand stage. And by your own admission, and by his own admission, it's you and Mr. Wrestling are not the best wrestlers in the world. But is it important for you at the end of your career to say, hey, I held that one, I beat that champion? Or is it okay
Oh,
for you to
definitely.
say, I've achieved what I needed to achieve?
No, no, most definitely. Look, where where I'm not at now in my life, now, I'm thinking of how long is this gonna still carry on?
Right.
Okay. I've never wrestled against Mr. Wrestling.
Mhm.
I've wanted to wrestle against him, but things like me and him wrestling never even came close to actually being in reality.
Yeah.
So in
Yeah.
my mindset, I can never see it happen.
Right. Right. I get you.
Whether it's I don't know behind the scenes, it might be um, somebody deciding no, or things not just happening like that, or he's far away. I'm this side of South Africa, he's that side of South Africa, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
That would actually be something awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you can think of the two different styles of Mr. Wrestling and the Crow actually meeting in a ring, how would that work out?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
How would that work out?
Yeah. Because
Because that's like opposites of something else, opposite of good and bad, that's one thing. But opposites of type of wrestling,
yeah. Yeah.
um, that would be something way different.
Crow, we are running out of time at this point in time. We can actually go on to a part three, but I think that we've covered enough of this to put together a great understanding of who the Crow was and who he is and who he, where he fits into to the wrestling landscape. And from everybody that's watched you wrestle, from the boys in the back, the back office, the promoters, and everything like that. We'd just like to say thank you very much for putting your body on the line for us. Not only for our entertainment, just so that you can put through the best product that you possibly can, man. And all we can say is thank you very much. And from a personal point of view, I mean, we've been on the road uh, together, man, for many years, and there's some good times, some bad times, man, but it always has been an experience. So
Ups
from
and
my
downs,
side,
yeah.
thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you soon. That's all I can say about
Great
that.
stuff. It's been a pleasure. It's always good to be acknowledged. It's like I appreciate it a lot,
So
and I'm not
from
done.
from the Crow and myself, the Loudmouth. Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and raw. See you next week.
Good stuff, guys. Enjoy.